History is written by the winners, with the loser's reward being to select an early grave. Imagine, if you will, a man with a dream unlike any other, and a spirit that couldn't be broken. Now imagine if that spirit was indeed broken. Imagine, if you will, a man with a dream that couldn't be broken. Now, imagine a little harder, and envision that dream absolutely shattering. Hi, I'm Louis Southard, and I am a comic book writer. And you're probably saying to yourself, Louis, this is not a comic book, this is a YouTube video. What are you doing? You're scaring me. And you know what? You're probably right, but I found something that I don't think anyone else has that I need to share with you. And I really wanted to make this video to go deep into the subject because I think I might very well be the first person in the 21st century to discover this. It all started in early 2024 when I was working on my non-fiction book, Comics Are Dying, the comic, which was all about the history of comic books. Now, I legally couldn't use any licensed characters like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, so I had to come up with my own stand-in characters to fill in their roles for the type of story we were trying to tell. For Superman, we came up with a guy called Mr. Infinite. Now, doing my legal due diligence, I googled the name Mr. Infinite to see if that had been taken before. When I typed it in, a website popped up belonging to a comic book artist. Assuming that this was a colleague or a peer, I went onto the website to make sure I wasn't, co-opting anything, and I really don't want to get sued. I don't think I can afford that right now. So I clicked on the thing, and what I discovered has shocked me. I have found the greatest piece of missing comic book history known to man, because this website wasn't just a portfolio, it was an archive dedicated to a comic book pioneer from decades ago, filled with work and history that the more I learned, the more curious I got, the more questions I got, all centered around one man by the name of Wayne Bannister. So, who is Wayne? What did he make? How does this all connect to Stan Lee of all people? And what other mysteries are lying behind the name, the legend of this forgotten artist? So join me as we delve a little deeper and uncover the mysteries of Wayne Bannister, the artist that time forgot. Our story begins in the greatest year known to mankind, 1927, in the greatest town known to mankind, Halstead, Pennsylvania, where the couple of Morris and Hadley Bannister had their first kid in the entire world, Wayne Bannister, followed up 3 years later by Eunice Bannister, his sister, but we don't care about her. So I don't really know a lot about Wayne's childhood. I wasn't there, but from what I gathered from the website, he was really into art and he did well in school, and he helped his mom with embroidery, which I guess was like the earliest signs of his artistic interests. But that's basically where our story begins. Jump a few years later, and the Bannister family has moved to the city that never sleeps, Philadelphia. There, Wayne is now a teenager. He's gone through puberty and he's in high school. And what's he doing in high school? By God, he's making art. He's doing things for his art classes. He's part of the newspaper where he's cartooning. Basically, the vibe we're getting here is that Wayne likes creativity, he likes imagination, he likes drawing. So naturally, after Wayne graduates, he's 18, he's a young buck, ready to face the world. What's he gonna do? Where is destiny calling him? Well, friends, we all know where he's going to go. Wayne joins the railroad! But wait, he's not taking this job because he really likes trains. No. He's taking this job because he's saving money. He's getting ready, he's preparing, because he's gonna follow his dreams. So get ready, world, because Wayne Bannister, he's gonna be an artist. It's the futuristic year of 1950 now, and the United States is steeped in shell-shock Stepfordism and ice-cold frozen war. Our hero Wayne has now moved to the Big Apple itself, New York City, and he's attending the Cartoonist and Illustrator School, where he's learning the fundamentals, becoming a better artist, and getting into different kinds of art. Especially the medium that will break his heart, comic book magazines. Wayne had a teacher there that took special interest in him, a guy by the name of Jerry Robinson, and if you don't know who that is, that guy is basically the co-creator of Robin, Joker, Two-Face. He's a big Batman guy, and he sees Wayne doing his stuff, and he's really taking a notice to this young man. So what does he do? He invites him to join the comic book cartoonist class. So he joins. With these classes, Wayne falls in love with the imagination and just the creativity of comic book cartooning. This kind of becomes the thing that he settles into while he's attending this school. He's learning more under Jerry Robinson, and he's befriending some members of the class, including a guy by the name of Steve Ditko. Now, if you don't know who Steve Ditko is, don't worry, he's going to be coming back a lot later in the story. But just keep that in mind, he's important. So wrapping up his classes, Wayne becomes a master of the arts, and he's quickly referenced to the comic book publisher Quality Comics. They were a comics publisher in the 1940s and 50s that mostly did romance, western, some superhero, some crime. The only thing of note that they are probably famous for in the modern day is that they created this DC superhero Plastic Man. While he's there, Wayne is basically hired to do a romance comic, specifically one short story, and this is his big break. This is him entering the comics industry. This is his first official story. What is that great magnum opus? I Was the Other Woman. Sexy stuff, Wayne. The kids do love their adultery. Following the success of the short story, Wayne is asked to do an even bigger job. Basically, he gets to make his own war comic called Action War Stories, which is all about, well, I don't know what it's about, actually, because unfortunately for Wayne, it was never released. But here's the cover. But hey, do you think Wayne is going to let this one bad thing spoil his attitude? No way. Not our guy. I bet he's going to bunker down and he's going to... Wait, he's doing advertising now. Yeah, he's doing advertising now. No, wait! Look over there! It's Wayne! And he's coming back! And he's coming back to comics. This time, he's got a brand new publisher by the name of EC Comics. EC Comics has gone bankrupt. Okay, reset. Wayne is still the comeback kid, and he's gonna break into comics. But this time, he's a little ace up his sleeve. Pop quiz. Do you remember his old pal Steve Ditko from school? Well, turns out that guy's doing pretty well for himself over at Charlton Comics. And Wayne takes notice of that, and he basically calls the guy to say, hey, do you think you can hook me up with a job there? Steve? He's a nice enough guy that he agrees. He refers Wayne to Charlton, and if you could believe it, Charlton says yes! Wayne is now in comics. But at what cost? So Wayne's an official comic book artist at Charlton now, and he's doing a lot of stuff. He's working on war comics, he's working on romance comics, western comics. This guy's got his fill. Wayne is finally living the dream. Or is he? Like any creative spirit, Wayne wants to flex his muscles, and he wants to show off his creativity and imagination. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna make the world's first Bannister original. Enter the Tomorrow Commander. In 1959, Wayne is making his very own science fiction newspaper strip called The Tomorrow Commander. It's all about a government space explorer going out doing missions in the stars. It ran for about 9 strips and 15 papers in the tri-state area, only for it to get cancelled as well. Sorry, Wayne. I'm so sorry, man. Looking at some of the strips online, the art's really good, and the stories are very imaginative, so Wayne really got to do what he wanted to do. But you're probably asking yourself, why am I bringing up his original works? Well, we haven't even reached his greatest creation yet. Oh no, it's the future again. 1962 is here, and Wayne has quit Charlton Comics. There's a moth.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Knock knock. Who's there? It's the future again, but also the past. It's 1962, and Wayne has quit Charlton Comics. Right now, Wayne's had enough of Charlton. He's sick of it. And he's gonna go find comic book work elsewhere. He's gonna... Oh no, he's back in advertising again. This time it's final. Looks like Wayne's gonna be staying in advertising for the rest of his life. But wait, there's something on the horizon. There's a publisher trying out something radically different with their stories. A publisher by the name of Marvel Comics? Learning about Marvel's unique at the time approach to giving characters realistic drama and problems and situations, Wayne wanted in. Those are the types of stories he always wanted to make his entire career. And it seems like there's finally a publisher making just that. And guess what? Wayne's got a man on the inside again. A little guy by the name of Steve Ditko, who's doing a fantastic job with his little obscure superhero by the name of Spider-Man. So Wayne asked Steve for a reference to the head honcho, and Steve's still a good guy, so he does just that. He reaches out to none other than Stan Lee. Stan agrees to meet with Wayne, and Wayne's going to show him all of his Bannister originals. He's going to go nuts, and he's going to try to prove to the editor of Marvel that he belongs with them, making the next generation of superheroes. So Stan looks over everything, and he says no. He rejects Wayne, and Wayne does not get a job at Marvel. Wayne's in a rough spot right now. He's quit his job in advertising, he's quit his job at Charlton, and now he's lost his latest prospect with Marvel. Seems all hope is lost. Or is it? Against all odds, Wayne decides to make his own original comic book in that Marvel style. He's going to show him how it's done. Stan Lee has unwittingly created his new nemesis, and Wayne's going to put every fiber of his being into the ultimate superhero comic book, Mr. Infinite. It's a comic about a teenager named Cooper Campbell who gets incredible powers from a lab experiment gone wrong. Sound familiar? But as harmless and unoriginal as that concept sounds, funnily enough, the book was controversial and impactful enough that it ended Wayne's entire career. So what the hell was in this book, and where can I get a copy? Because whatever the hell was in it was destructive enough to basically destroy Wayne's art career. Well, luckily, I reached out to Martin Fischer, Wayne's living descendant, who is running the website. I contacted him, and hopefully he can give me some answers. So, without further ado, let's talk to Martin.
Look at any of his work. It's all there. The man knew how to draw as best as the best. I don't. It doesn't take a genius to see that. Absolutely. Uncle Wayne was a talent and a hard worker. He spent years of his life learning to draw better and teaching himself that kind of stuff. Nobody in our family did nothing like that, ever. But he did. He worked his ass off, and he was there when the sausage was being made. He knew the guys who made Spider-Man, for Christ's sake. Those movies make millions of dollars now, but people only care about the showboats from back then. Uncle Wayne didn't need that or want that. He wanted to make his books. End of story. What relationship? The guy did a couple of favors, and that was it. I'll be honest with you. Uncle Wayne was jealous of that guy to all hell. Not because of the money or nothing, but because that guy seemed to have such an easy time getting work. They came up together, so I reckon it would be frustrating to see someone so close glide on by like that. But from what I learned myself, that Stan Lee got one on him too. So maybe Uncle Wayne is happy about that. Listen, Lou. I've been wanting to read that book all my life. But Uncle Wayne never kept any copies or anything of the art. The only thing he ever held on to were the character drawings. He liked looking at them. I was looking at them, too, to be fair. But anyway, my dad explained to me when I was old enough that there was a lot of controversy in the 60s around Uncle Wayne and that book. But why is it so hard to find? Because whatever the hell was in it pissed people off. But Uncle Wayne only made the book anyway because he was mad at Stan Lee. So it was an angry book, I guess. But it made Uncle Wayne happy. Oh man, it made him happy. I just want people to remember him as good as I do. If this can help bring some attention to him and his art, then I think that'll be a good thing. And I really do thank you for this.
With all that said and done, Wayne's art career is dead. And he packs up, leaves New York, and moves back to Philadelphia, where he gets a new job as a truck depot supervisor. So, what messages can we take away from this? Well, I have two that I think are very important. First message is a bit sour because this was a whole expose into a comic book artist's life and their career, And someone like Wayne, well, it didn't pan out the way he expected. And that's really a common story in the life of an artist. In the comic book industry, a lot of people have their energies and spirit driven to the ground, and that's really unfortunate. This isn't entirely an industry that looks out for its people. We look at comic book characters today that are turned into billion-dollar movies, while the people who made them are begging for money to pay for medical bills on GoFundMe or Kickstarter, and I think that's very sad. And Wayne is the type of guy who passed away before anything could actually be uncovered. He didn't get his credit, and I think that's sad. As a comic book creator myself, I've experienced firsthand bad publishers and bad people in positions of power. So it's a commonplace thing, and I think things definitely do get better, but they're still not great. The only thing we can do is try to show enough initiative and enough effort to really strive to make this a better industry, and basically for us to be able to make the things we want to make in a safe and fulfilling environment. The second and final message is a little more optimistic, as Martin and I need your help. Basically, we're trying to find a copy of Mr. Infinite #1 so we can put it into Wayne's catalog and archive, as well as wanting to share it with any fans. So if anyone has any information, you can contact Martin on his website, but we're trying to get as many people to see this as possible. More eyes means more of a chance of finding this missing piece of comic book history. So be sure to like and subscribe and share the video so we can get as many eyes on this as possible, and hopefully we'll increase our odds of finding the book. In the meantime, Martin has asked that if anyone's interested in spreading the good Wayne word, that you can make fan art or share anything directly with him and he'll post it on the website. Basically, he's just keen on reinvigorating his uncle's memory, so I can't blame the guy there. So until then, get ready and prepare for hopefully a part 2, because if we find Mr. Infinite #1, I'd definitely like to talk more about that. Either way, I was so happy and excited to basically talk or reveal about Wayne to the world, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. I was Louis Southard, and you can follow me at Louis J. Southard on Twitter or at Louis Southard on Instagram, or you can look me and my books up on www.louissouthard.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed what you learned today.